that's great. That's just great, man. Now what the f are we supposed to do?
Do it. Spit on that thing. You get me?
Hi there, I'm chemically induced mammalian Melissa Kelly, and today we're going to be reviewing and reacting to the film Aliens, a film all about pregnancy phobia and why in a crisis situation you should always leave the kids behind. Hi there my dudes, I hope you're shiny. Remember, you can watch this film along with me reacting live over on my Patreon. Before we get started, let's just address the elephant in the room. In recent years, Aliens has come under fire for casting a white actor to play the representation of a community they are not part of. And I, for one, am glad it has been highlighted. Lance Henriksen should never have played an AI robot. It's in bad taste. I, for one, would call for James Cameron to make reparations. I know I have. I apologise to Steven Pearson. Hey Siri, I'm sorry.
Fuck off.
Oh. The film begins with best woman ever invented outside of Angela Lansbury. That's right, it's Sigourney Weaver playing Ellen Ripley, who's found in hyperspace. She's then transported to Space Hospital and told by stereotypical 80s guy Burke that she has been asleep for 57 years. This is fantastic. She probably suffers chest burster, which to be honest is my reaction when I sleep in and realise how late I am. We are then in this version showing Ripley finding out her daughter has passed away. Why on earth would you delete this scene? It gives her motivation for the entirety of the film, without just giving her some catch-all need to be a mother. Yeah, I don't think we need this scene, to be honest. Everyone will understand why she protects Newt. So? Well, because she's a woman. So? Well, women naturally want to protect children, don't they? You would. No, I'm with the xenomorphs. Don't be silly, your maternal instinct would kick in. I don't know about that, but what I do know is there's some good eating in that little girl. Jesus. Also, what's going on with your beard? I have a disease. Don't ask rude questions. Ripley is grilled by a bunch of higher-ups from Weyland-Yutani about what actually went down on her ship in the first film. They don't think it's a film. They think it's real life. Never mind. Ripley tells them all about the aliens.
A creature that gestates inside a living human host. Yes. These are your words. And has concentrated acid for blood.
That's right.
And she does her best to warn them about the danger, but ultimately she's fired and her license is revoked. I really do love these scenes because they set up exactly how right Ripley was and the fact that nobody would listen.
Thank you, that will be all.
God damn it, that's not all.
Nonetheless, she's told that 60 families are actually creating a colony in the same place where the spaceship with the aliens is. Oh, what's that? Big corporations don't care about human life. Say so. Later, Burke and some unknown military man arrive at Ripley's cabin. They inform her that they've in fact lost communication with the colony, and if I were Ripley, I would not be able to hold my tongue. So, we've lost communication with the colony. Oh, that's a shame. Maybe they're busy. No, we don't think they're busy. We can't seem to connect with them at all. Really? Maybe they're all in the bath. No, we think they might be in some kind of trouble. Trouble, you say? Like what? We think they might be in danger of aliens. Sorry? We think they might have some trouble with like the aliens. Louder. Okay. We think they might be in trouble from the aliens you warned us about. Oh, come on, guys. Tuck your little dum-dum wee-wees between your legs and let's go sort this out. I told you so. This scene really establishes how much of a sleaze Burke actually is. The thing is, they could have got an actor that was bigger than Paul Reiser. That's in reputation, not stature. But Paul Reiser does such a good job of being so incredibly unlikable, having actually said nothing bad. He's just got that vibe. 80s sleazeball. After experiencing a night terror, Ripley decides to go on the mission. Enter the most ragtag bunch of beautiful bastards you've ever seen in your life.
Man, this floor is freezing.
What do you want me to do, fetch your slippers for you?
Gee, would you, sir? I'd like that. Look into my eye.
These scenes are only a few minutes long, but we really do get the measure of all of the troops and who they are. Vasquez is the Latino badass. Drake is the scary brute.
Hudson
There's a smart mouth, who eventually becomes the biggest crybaby ever. Also, remember this guy? Me neither. But he is in fact part of the Marines team. But he seems to have suffered from the film edit. I think I know why. This man's name, in real life, the actor, Tipping. Mr. Walking around, real life, Tipping. What would your name be if your family just phoned it in and said, hell, we'll just use the first 3 letters of his family name? Hanks. Also, let's not forget the banter in this film between all of the privates is top tier.
Hey, Vasquez.
Have you ever been mistaken for a man?
No. Have you?
After a breakfast with a circus android, crew are briefed and it's time to get going. This scene where Ripley asks if there's anything that she can do does 2 things. It shows us that Ripley is an independent person who is capable, but also it shows us how amazing the practical effects are in this film before an alien has even arrived. There's no part of me that watches these scenes and doesn't believe that these forklift suits are 100% heavy metal. Stop that. It's not what I'm talking about. The crew are then dropped to the planet and we get a few scenes of space and the spaceship and then going down. Again, it's one of these films where I have to remind myself it's 40 years old. And despite that, everything looks wonderful. They get to the colony building and it's suspiciously empty.
Nothing. Not a goddamn thing.
But then,
Good one, Hudson.
Sir, we have a negative.
who's feeding these hamsters? So here's some pumpkin seeds, my little snickerdoodles. I'll see you later to clean your cage. Mommy's gotta go and cocoon some more survivors. Love you. Mwah. Honestly, I think the use of the headcams is incredibly clever because not only does it get us a little snapshot into what Ripley's seeing and feeling without us actually having to be in the room there with her, but the to-ing and fro-ing between headcam and actually what's going on gives it a sort of found footage feel, which just intensifies the fear. After a sweep of like 1 corridor, this pinhead said it's safe to go in. And of course Ripley points out that no, it is not in fact safe to go in. But again, no one listens.
Computer can tell us.
It's not
The
secure.
area is secured, Ripley. First team, head for operation.
But to be fair, it did work out really well last time when no one listened to Ripley. Hi there, I'm Dr. Lars Ulrich Kelly, and yes, I do have the same glasses as James Cameron. We shop in the same places. I'm here from the Institute of Film to point out that at this stage of the film, they have cut an important character development scene, and they cut the scene where we actually see the colony discovering the aliens. Kind of a big plot point. I have in fact also missed it out because, very much like James Cameron, I like to create art and then cut it up like a pepperoni pizza. Ripley joins the Marines and they find a small child has been hiding. They take her to a safe space and after asking her the grand total of once, Pinhead decides he can't get anything out of her. Ripley learns that her name is Newt. I'm not going to make any cheap jokes about a kid actor. You know what I'm saying? All I will say is, Newt progressively gets more and more Australian as the film goes on. I'm deadly serious. Go back and watch it. By the end of the film, you could convince me that all of her stuff has just been dubbed by Crocodile Dundee. The Marines discover the life signals of the colonists and head out to help them, but they are walking into a trap. And Senior Pinhead makes mistake after mistake after mistake.
We can't have any firing in there. I want you to collect magazines from everybody.
Is he fucking crazy?
After finding this out, he should have just pulled everyone back immediately. Then, after finding a chest buster, the walls start to move. The health monitors of the Marines start cutting out.
Where's the phone? Where's the phone? Sergeant, stop! Get the fuck out of here! Let's go, Marine!
Hudson? Vasquez?
Hudson, look out!
Ripley watches Pinhead make bad decision after bad decision and fall apart at the seams, so she decides to take things over. She's going to drive that tank to the Marines and save them.
Turn around! That's an order!
Women drivers, am I right? No, I'm not right. Ripley saves the Marines from certain death, and on the wild ride through the colony, you have to stop and appreciate that this entire section was actually filmed with miniatures and an old power station in Buckinghamshire in England. Between that and the actual on-set filming, all of it has been spliced together, and at no point do you feel taken out of the story of what's going on. In fact, you're right there with them the whole time, feeling the intensity of what's going on. After an intense confrontation, Hicks decides, agreeing with Ripley, that they should take off and nuke the site from space. But of course, that does not in fact go to plan. So Hudson becomes the biggest crybaby known to man. The film actually delivers two of its most iconic lines literally within 10 seconds of each other. That's pretty impressive. These lines have become part of pop culture 10 seconds apart. Because of course you've got this one.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
And then you get this one 10 seconds later.
They mostly come at night. Mostly.
Oh, sorry, not that one. The other one. You know which one I didn't know. The group reconvene in an attempt to try and hold themselves up until help arrives. Ripley puts Newt to sleep. They have a tender moment where Ripley discovers that her daughter died. They connect on the level of a mother who's lost his daughter and a daughter who's lost her mother. No, they don't. What? That never happened. It is cut. Okay, but in this version, it's not. I don't care. It's cut. You cut 5 seconds of footage that actually strengthens their connection. Isn't that a bit stupid? You're a bit stupid. Come on, James. The group are informed by Rosie the robot that there's been a build-up in the reactor of the colony, and soon they will all be blown into intergalactic space particles. We then see another cutscene where the team set up sentry guns. I do understand the need to edit films, because it's all about tone and pace, perspective, but really, don't really understand a lot of the decisions to take some of this out. The scenes aren't poor, they really do add to everything. But safely, I can say this, for the rest of the film, there are very few cuts from the cinema release and the special edition. Hicks shows Ripley how to use his pulse rifle, careful, and they have a moment of bonding. Hicks is such a wonderful representation of positive masculinity. He's brave, he's intuitive, he's resourceful, he's understanding. They did him so dirty in Aliens 3, and I'm not even going to talk about it. Did to David Fincher. After another fantastic line from Ripley.
I thought you'd be smarter than this.
I'm happy to disappoint you.
Burke locks Ripley and Newt in the sickbay in order to impregnate them, enter the iconic face hugger. There's no part of me that is not terrified of every single one of H.R. Geiger's creations. So, Mr. Geiger, what have you got for us today then? Well, last night I had a nightmare and I have a new creature for you. Fantastic. So what is it? It's essentially a giant spider. Oh, okay, spiders are scary. Yeah, except this one has the long bony fingers of a demon for legs. Okay, it has no face, but a long pointed tail like a rat, covered in scales. Covered in scales. If you flip it over, it looks like genitalia. Male or female? Both. Okay. Also, question, where are you from? And when it jumps at you, it covers your whole face and head, shoves an egg down your throat as it strangles you to death with its scaly rat tail. Christ. But the aliens are coming, and they're coming in force. Can we please enjoy this scene? I'm so sad that Vasquez dies in this film. She really should have went to the end. She's such a badass. Am I sad that she dies with Pinhead? Yes. Then Newt gets herself stuck down a vent. For God's sake. Sigourney Weaver does such an excellent job here of going from the hysteria of losing Newt right through to when they get back to the ship. Then she becomes quietly determined that she's going back for Newt. Wouldn't be me. I kid. I wouldn't have had her come along in the first place. I kid. I would have went on this mission. for any reason. Then we get this absolute masterpiece of a monster, which of course is the Queen. The practical effects here are absolutely breathtaking. The Queen is actually a hydraulic puppet that's being operated by two men inside. This part of the film is so panic attack inducing, I can't believe Ripley's trying to make her way from the Queen back to the ship. It's the sound design, it's the visuals, it's the panic of seeing the Queen coming. It's trying to get the lift to work. It's getting up the top and not seeing where Bishop's went. It's realising there's no ammo left in the gun. The whole thing is just one after the other of panic, and it's so fantastically done. Just when we're convinced it's over, Bishop does save the day. Newt's final transformation into Steve Irwin is complete as they take off from the planet.
We made it.
I knew you'd come.
I'm not even going to continue to gush about the special effects in this 14-year-old film. So this next scene is absolutely fantastic, but it's too hot for YouTube to show. So I'm just going to give you a rough idea of what's going on in the next film with Bishop and the Queen.
They tore my legs off and they threw them over there. Then they took my chest out and they threw it over there.
That's right, they thought they were safe, but don't forget Aliens is just Russian nesting dolls of disaster. A moment of silence for this.
Get away from her, you bitch!
The whole fight scene that follows is just a wonderful combination of choreography, lighting, puppetry. It is stunning. I can't even make fun of it. There's no comments to be made. The whole thing is perfect. It is up there with film perfection with films like Jurassic Park and Jaws. Ripley ultimately kills the Queen because of course she does. Saving the day, Newt runs into her arms, shouting money. But she has a mum. Yeah, but she was killed a couple of weeks ago. Exactly. Isn't it a little bit too soon to be calling someone you've known for 24 hours your mum? It's been 3 weeks, Gemma. Move on.
In the arms of...
I cannot gush enough about how perfect this whole film is. It's the acting, it's the action, it's the monsters, it's the story, it's the design, it's everything. And for that reason, I would give Aliens 10 sweaty burks out of 10. Remember, you can watch this whole film along with me reacting live over on my Patreon. Until next time, my dudes, aliens have acid for blood, androids have milk, Ripley has ice in her veins. Stay frosty.
We don't talk about Newt's mom. She's gonna live with God. We all know that Newt is gonna be fine. 'Cause Ripley replaced her in a heartbeat. She's got a new mom. She's gonna have fun. She's gonna get favorite treats. 'Cause Ripley replaced her in a heartbeat. And I doubt Newt ever really loved her mama.